10-year-old Mary Jane loves to sing.
If I had to choose a favorite song, that'd be Heart Attack.
For her, art is a slice of average in an otherwise unique home.
We brought them in so that they're safe and they're healthy, and we try to provide as much activity and keep their lives as normal as possible. I think being grandparents raising grandkids, we've run into a lot of others, and there's a lot of people, a lot of kids out there being raised by family members other than their parents.
Stanley and Jill Brown have been raising their grandchildren for the past 2 years. 17-year-old Corbin, 10-year-old Mary Jane, and 2-year-old Sebastian. The couple, married 46 years, says a great deal of their everyday lives is dedicated to preschool drop-offs, calendars, and after-school activities a second time around.
We've done it before, but now we're older and you're tireder, and you just...
It takes a little more effort to do things. I could remember last week going, golly, I used to could sweep the floors and mop the floors and get the laundry done and do the dishes and not be so tired at night. But, you turn 60 and your body starts to fall apart.
According to the U.S. Census Bureau, in 2014, close to 2.5 million children were being raised by their grandparents. In Arizona, over 100,000 kids find themselves being raised by an aging generation.
Grandparents have always been an extended part of the family. What's changed in the past 20 years is grandparents are now stepping into the role of parenting on a daily basis, 24/7. So they are no longer the Disneyland, have fun. They are now the disciplinarian. They're the ones that are making all the decisions on behalf of the children, and it's a major lifestyle for the grandparents. There's that divided loyalty. So for a lot of the grandchildren, they do struggle with the divided loyalties because they love their parents and then they love their grandparents.
So our schedule and your life pattern gets set, and you sort of get in your routine and that sort of thing. But then when you have two, especially a newborn, you inherit a newborn, that all changes. Now you're talking midnight feeding and diapers and doing starting all that over again.
Constantly thinking of who's in charge and who's got who and who needs to pick up the next one and what time is all of that.
It can be overwhelming for everyone involved. And that's where Duet, Partners in Health and Aging, comes in. Director of Kinship Services Patricia Dominguez has been working with Grandfamilies for nearly 20 years. Dominguez wants to provide some relief for grandparents who face the challenges of raising children for the second and third time around.
We want to be that lifeline. Duet wants to be that lifeline. Duet wants to, the Kinship Care Services, we want to let you know you're not alone. When you're out there screaming and you're driving in the car and you're trying to figure out where to begin.
Agencies like Duet offer everything from support groups to one-on-one counseling, legal aid, and family recreation.
We also find that social and recreational opportunities are big for families. Many of the grandparents lose their friends. Many of them may not be interested in having young children, in their lives. So that's a big, again, a lifestyle change. And so for us, the recreational social opportunities really are helpful. Grandparents come together, they meet one another, they have fun. The kids also get to see that they're not the only ones being raised by grandparents. And not only that, but it also helps them financially. We just like to think of it as grandparents being grandparents for the day.
A Grandfamilies day at the pool was the perfect place to be on a hot Arizona Sunday. Between water slides, poolside snacks, and soaked smiles. The stress of doctor's appointments, diapers, and middle school appointments is washed away. This isn't what Stan and Jill had planned for their retirement, but they wouldn't have it any other way.
So we just kind of postured ourselves to be emotionally ready and physically capable of saying, well, we'll take them, and they'll be in our care. We just could not imagine, as we talked about it, that our grandchildren going into public foster care system. That just not acceptable. So you do what you have to do. You have a sick family member, or you do what you have to do. So it's not our plan. This is not my retirement plans, but this is what it turned out to be.
Some days you think, oh, I don't know if I can do this another day, and then the kids smile at you and give you a hug, and you know, okay, I can do it another day. So you just keep marching.
For Mary Jane, the titles of mom and grandma, grandpa, and dad are almost interchangeable. But she and her brothers have found an irreplaceable home.
Most of the time we get along, and that's probably the one thing I'm happy about. It's that we don't always get along, but it makes me so happy that so far we're building a strong relationship.